Steve Cooper, Rank Success, and this is the third video in a little trilogy of videos concerning the topic or subject of police promotion applications. Now, I've covered 3 points in each of the videos so far, and in this video I would like to focus upon 3 new points that are often overlooked, and they are level, complexity and outcome. And certainly in relation to inspector applications, when I look through them, when I review them, they're not at the level of inspector, and that's quite clear. The evidence that you put in must be at the level of the rank that you're going for. There's no good providing good sergeant evidence, and it can be quite frustrating if you don't know what the role or the functions and dimensions of the inspector's role are, so that you can help elevate the quality and the content of your promotion application examples. So try and make sure you get it at the level of inspector, and it's one of the things before you finish your application, just to check, it's one of those final checks. Is it at the level, is my evidence at the level of inspector or sergeant? Because it's one of the things assessors will look for and go, well, do you know what, this isn't really at the level required and we can't put it forward. The second point that I've just kind of focused on is complexity. And when we say complexity, we don't mean that you've provided a promotion application that's complex for the sake of being complex or to confuse somebody. What we mean by that is that the evidence, the content of your examples and evidence are complex in a way, particularly for inspectors. It needs to be able to link to the force aims, objectives, the needs of the public, the needs of communities, performance, the role of the inspector. Some of those functions and dimensions of the role of inspector, are they in there? Have you been able to link to leadership, your leadership, to the framework, the competency framework and the relevant competency in question? So when we talk about complexity, are assessors able to read it and go, wow, this links to quite a few things in the 250, 300 or 400 word limit? They've actually crammed a lot into this. So not complex to confuse anybody, but it's complex in as much as it's got a number of dimensions to it. It's not just one dimensional and pretty simple in presentation. And the third topic really is outcome. And certainly for inspector evidence, it's important that your evidence finishes with a good outcome, or good outcomes, or a strong outcome. So I always refer to an outcome as a result with muscles. So perhaps in a science application, you are able to put in a good result at the end, and that can be sometimes one-dimensional. For instance, you know, public confidence was improved that area by this much, and this is how we know it. Or crime, a particular crime type was reduced by 20%, 15% in that area. Something like that would be important as a result, but for a sergeant, for an inspector, it's got to be, it's got to have a few more muscles than that. It's got to have some other elements to it. So yes, performance was improved, but it might be that you were able to achieve certain steps on an action plan. It might be that the result of an operation was beneficial in a number of respects to partnerships, to the team, that there was a large amount of individual, team or organisational learning that came out of it. So focus upon the outcome aspect, and that will help your evidence, your examples in a promotion application to be that much stronger. So certainly for inspectors, but it's very good for sergeants as well, just overlay before you submit your promotion application a quick check with those 3 points in it. Is it at the level of the rank that you're going for? Is it complex in as much as it's not one-dimensional as such? And is there a good, strong result or outcome there? And you've spent a bit of time focusing on that. And the other point really generally that I would say with promotion applications is to blow your own trumpet. You're actually writing about what you've done. So with that in mind, also the use of the word we too often is not very good. It's like diluting a glass of orange juice from its essence to something that's much weaker. Use the term I wherever you can. I attended the scene to provide visible leadership. I took control in terms of managing, directing and controlling resources at the scene. So just get used to the use of language I. Assessors are interested in what you did, not what everybody else did. This is a promotion process, and whilst we all know that we achieve things through teams and doing things together, in a promotion process, the focus, the scrutiny, the assessment is upon you. What did you do? So it's useful to start writing in your application and making sure you cover the I, what you did. Okay, so in relation to the 3 videos that we've covered in relation to promotion applications, the first 3 points were start now. It's always the best time to do it, whether you think so or not. There's no better time. Treat it as a golden opportunity, because it is, and you can get ahead of the curve with it now. A quick warning about word limits. So those were the first 3 points in the first video. And the second video is about story. Your promotion application has to consist of a story or a number of stories. Structure, choose one, par, star, saw, I've covered those. And spelling and grammar, really kind of, before you submit it, take some pride in your work, get someone else to check it over, and just make sure there are no obvious or repeated spelling or grammar issues. There's really no excuse for that, because this should be some of your very best work and evidence of your ability to communicate in writing, which is what's being tested. And then, as we've just covered in this video, last but not least, just overlay that level, complexity and outcome checks. Okay, so that said, if you would like to take a quantum leap forward, or you'd like to kind of hit the ground running right now, you can do that by downloading a digital promotion toolkit for Sergeant or Inspector. You can come on a masterclass. You can contact me for one-to-one advice. And if you like this video or any of the others, just subscribe on YouTube, or you can follow me on social media, which is Facebook Rank Success, or Twitter at rank_success. Until next time, I look forward to speaking to you.